Here we are, game 2, and a big uphill climb for Idra.
Yep, and we see right here, as the Red Zerg, a player who just left the game upon seeing his opponent without even forcing the fight from Team Evil Geniuses. If you want Idra to come back and take out Leenock here on Metalopolis, go ahead and give a cheer.
And in the north position, a guy who really didn't exert too much in that last game, but probably going to give it his all as well in this one. Give it up for FXO Leenock. And for Leenock, I got to imagine that he's like, all right,
yeah,
I'll
take it.
I'll take it. So, don't think it's really going to affect him too much going into this next game. If you have those types of scenarios, you're probably saying, great, I'm going to continue to do what seems to be working and go with that. There wasn't a moment where even Leenock was like, oh, I need to do this or this to win. He had a plan. It worked out. Of course, there was the tiny skirmishes in the middle of the map. But I guess the bigger question, JP, is will we see another hatch first out of Leenock?
I think we will right now because, of course, we are pretty close to the supply. But what gave that away for both these players is they both will be going hatch first, it looks like, is the fact that they scouted with the Overlords close by air and did not find their opponents. So they know it's going to be cross-map. They know they can get away with taking that hatch first.
And so 15 drones coming up and going to be moving over. Now I wonder if Idra is actually wondering if he should have gone hatch first in the last game, but actually decided to go with that early speedling build. Things will be equalized a lot more as you see the hatcheries going down almost simultaneously for both players. But again, going back, what would you think about, what would happen if we do go to a long ZVZ style macro game, which we don't see a whole lot of?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like Idra would be better in that. I feel like his macro in ZVZ is, it kept up with Nesty. Of course, we saw that the other night. It was incredible. There was a point in the first match where both players were at 200, almost identical times. And we were like 12 minutes in or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Once Idra can get set up, he can really turn it on and crank out so much stuff, as well as just doing so much stuff around the map. So we'll really have to see how this game kind of plays out. We saw last game, it didn't play out all that long. So
no, it did not. And so, so far the way that we've just kind of been going, the route this game is taking, I think that we are going to definitely see a little bit more time on that clock for this game coming around. Hatchery is finishing up on both sides. Drones being transferred for Idra. Nothing being transferred yet here for Leenock, but he is going to go ahead and get 2 queens at both of his hatcheries here. We're going to have all of his drones now making their way over. What will happen from here as we see both players going for speed? Idra is going to pull some drones off of gas while we see continued mining on Leenock's side.
Yeah, very identical right here for both of these players. Haven't seen any tech just yet. I'm sure we will in just a couple seconds. And right as I say that, the Baneling Nest is what Leenock is going to go with. Idra, however, has not chosen it just yet.
Yeah, Idra went with a pretty late Baneling Nest last game as well. And there, okay, it does go down. He also got his expansion up a little bit later, which could have certainly had some sort of effect on the outcome of that, even if he would have had a defensive Baneling and not lost too many of those units. Here we have a couple of links from Idra, going to just peek in and scout, see what's going on. Queen will react, going to try to get around there. The Spinecrawler's not up yet. And although they take the long and scenic route, these Lings do manage to get inside the base. They will see the Baneling Nest, so Idra knows exactly what he is up against. Going to make his way all the way around, and he's going to get some great scouting here, and knows exactly what is here at the natural, including that Spinecrawler. Over on the other side, though, no scout quite yet coming out for Leenock. He's got a good idea just from the Overlord and what he has seen, but does not know about the Baneling Nest and really doesn't know what's going on at the natural expansion.
Yeah, Idra right now is a tiny bit ahead. Leenock was able to get that Spinecrawler down faster. That means more drones for Idra. If you look right now, it's actually tied up, but the drone just popping out there for Idra a little bit earlier. He's also not scouted just yet, so the tech path has not been revealed. But There are Lings coming across the map here for Leenock and also for Idra.
Yeah, although Idra has some defensive banelings here, so those Lings are not going to want to engage in battle. Idra's going to take 4 Lings inside. Not going to do much of anything here. He tries to pick off a drone, and all he does is lose 1 Zergling in the process. There are Leenock's defensive banelings. Meanwhile, a few more Lings on the outside. Leenock with about 6 banelings being morphed just outside. If Idra continues to come south here with these Lings, he will.
And
does
they get
not
taken
scout.
out.
However, he does find them over on the side, and he will get a cancellation on those banelings, and I feel like Idra really needed to have that happen. Got to be careful. I'm not. Did his defensive banelings blow up then? There they are. Okay, there they are. I knew they were doing a job sometime. He's going to come inside, not see much. But more importantly, what he did not scout is this third base that has gone down pretty early here for Idra. Over on the other side, still nothing. Both players have gone with Lair, or at least are teching to Lair now. Or just started moments ago. So, I don't know, JP. Idra now just getting that extra base ahead.
Yeah, and the big thing there is that the Ling of Leenock died seconds before this Lair started for Idra.
Oh, that was actually a whiff. That was like a brick right there.
Idra's trying to find a way in, but these banelings will have something to say about that as they are chasing him out. And he might try to morph them in, but he does get caught there with Leenock. And we see, is there a Roach worn up? Idra has one about to finish here, but Leenock does not. He might be going, he has 4 gas right now. He might be going for some mutas.
Yeah, with that 4th gas being taken and the Lair about ready to finish up, we'll see in just a moment. Meanwhile, that third base is up. It is being scouted here by Leenock. He'll see the creep and the expansion, so I'd expect Leenock to possibly make some sort of a move there if he could. In fact, a lot of Lings heading on down. Any defensive banelings here? There's only 1 defensive baneling for Idra, and he knows that, he's going to walk right into the main base.
That is not good. The Queen is getting drowned. The Roach is just now popping out, but they are actually still rallied, and the Queen lives. But at the same time, over here at the third, the hatchery is being focused down. The banelings being saved for the Lings, and it is definitely going to go down. The Roaches will come in and try to... Whoa, Leenock pulled back, and there he goes, taking the hatchery down.
Yeah, that was a clean kill right there, too. He really did not lose a whole lot of anything. I liked how he put the banelings sort of in a defensive position to say, come on in and attack. I will not make you enjoy this battle. But now with the Roaches out, he should be able to deflect these units back to home base. Now, I feel like he's got to make a move on the third that is going up about halfway done here for Leenock. It is mostly that Baneling army, but as you mentioned, JP, there is a Spire on the way for Leenock. It is back here at the natural, and so Leenock's going to have this ability to just produce a ton of Lings at this point while he gets his mutas ready. In fact, you can see he's already up to 1,000, so a lot of mutas will be coming out here. And another attack, the cancellation on the third. Banelings coming in. There are a lot of Lings here as well. Will this frankly do it? More Roaches are on the way.
And the third base is still denied once more. He gets another surround on these Roaches. The Hydralisks are out. Those will deal a lot of damage. They will force Leenock to run back at this stage, but they will get the drones. So once again, this third base is not up. The hatchery finished for Leenock, and 10 mutas are about to pop.
Yeah, I mean, now, of course, we see the we see the transition to Hydralisks here for Idra, but Lings are still a big part of the composition coming out here by Leenock. More Roaches will hit. I don't think these Lings are going to do a whole lot of anything. They
get
do
the Queen
to snipe that Queen, and will continue to do some harassment damage inside. The third base is up for Leenock. It currently has no drones at all. In fact, we don't have either player getting drones right now, but Baneling speed for Leenock, and I think versus a Hydralisk army, it's a pretty good idea. You can, with some good positioning, some flanks, if you can get some solid Baneling hits on those Hydras, you can absolutely melt them. So the big, the big hurdle for Leenock will be these Roaches and how he's going to deal with that. Mutas are on their way over now, going to kill a couple of Overlords, but how much damage will they be able to do overall?
And over in the main base of Leenock, we have a corruption going down on the Baneling speed upgrade, so that will delay it, which is a great thing for Idra.
Nice.
But we see a bunch of Banelings being morphed over here for Leenock.
Yeah, a ton of Banelings, and he could go right in. He's doing a phenomenal job of keeping this third base from going up to the point where I'm surprised Idra hasn't just tried to relocate it, and that is a ton of Banelings. Now, that is also a ton of mutas that he could have made here, but with the fact that there are so many Hydralisks, this might be a better decision. He's going to go up, and the moment it pops,
the Banelings!
They immediately try to go after those Hydras, and he will get rid of quite a few, but some good target fires going down, and there's still a ton of Hydras left.
Wow, that was incredible. incredible with the focus fire down there. That attack did really nothing. The Hatcher getting down to 400 HP. The Mutas will have to fly back, and Idra has said that he knows how to deal with this, with the Muta play. He does not like going it himself right now because he doesn't feel comfortable, but he's pushing across the map. He has a huge force here, 141 to 120 supply. 6 more Hydras about to pop as well.
That was a lot of gas used in those Banelings, and really the only trade is if he was left with no Hydras and those Mutas could just have a heyday. But right now we've got a ton more Banelings being morphed in. He's going to continue to dedicate his gas to here. Will they come up before the attack comes? Here it goes. Big engagement right here. Roach is trying to protect those Hydras once again. Hydras do split, and most of the Banelings are down, and all that's left is Roaches. That was a perfect engagement for Leenock.
Yeah, these Mutas will be able to clean up these Roaches. He's going to run into the main, and not sure what he was really going for there, because he didn't go in for the drones or anything. You see over here that he's going to try to take the third.
I don't know if it was really much of a distraction. I think he was hoping to not only do some damage at the front, but also take down the third. Not only did the third stay alive, JP, but the entire army of Idra did get demolished in that one. However, Leenock doesn't have a whole lot of gas to follow up with this, so Idra, if he can keep these Hydras alive...
GG. Oh,
done.
Too much. Leenock played that exactly how he should.